Blue Line Futures in Chicago. Oliver, say it ain't so, Joe. Make it go away.
Yeah, I wish I had that power. I mean, we had a pretty rough end of the month last week, and it looked like we were going to find some stabilization in the early morning trade, but we gave that back very quickly on the floor open, 8:30 Central Time. And you just really don't get the warm and fuzzy feeling here to start a new month of trade. And it's not just the grain markets. I mean, you look at the oil market is just getting crushed down over $2. I think it was down $2.50. Stock market's wavering. You're seeing, some of the safe haven assets like gold, silver, and now Bitcoin, I guess, fits into that category, catch a bid as well. So it's certainly a little bit of an eerie feeling to start the month, but this is an important month for the grain market, so potentially we can get a little bit more of a relief from these levels. But I think this time of year, producers really have to take advantage of any of those relief rallies that we get to help establish a floor and protect that bottom line.
I mean, are we just going to have to sit around here and wait for the end of the month for our next bullish chance? I mean, I think that weather is still kind of like the Joker, right? You don't know if it's a good card or not yet.
Well, and right now, the weather really doesn't look like that big of a concern, right?
Yeah.
Now, we did have some concerns over planting delays, but that proved to be really kind of a non-event and a non-story. Is just something to kind of talk about. You look at the drought monitor, there's not a lot of concern there. I'm sure something will pop up between now and the fall, but it's always the story of the have and have-nots. And right now, it seems like there's a lot of people have the haves, and it could be setting up for a pretty decent year as far as productivity goes. Doesn't bode well for prices, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, stay right there. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more with Oliver Slope. He's with Blue Line Futures in Chicago. We'll be right back after this. That's from Mr. Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures. What do you think about those prices there?
Well, the cattle complex got pretty roughed up at the end of last week's trade. Ultimately, I would like to believe that this sets up for a buying opportunity, as June is typically a fairly friendly time of year for the beef markets. But as mentioned in the grain sector, you just really don't get that warm and fuzzy feeling with a lot of these outside markets kind of wavering back and forth, and the precious metals catching a little bit of a bid. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the volatility uptick a little bit if we can kind of get through some of this week's economic data without any major concerns and caution flags. I'd like to think that we can see cattle rally from here. The numbers are still light. The cash market has held up strong, but there have been a couple other outside market headlines that have been a bit of a headwind for this market here over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's done okay considering those headlines, but, at some point in time, you have to wonder what's going to be the straw that breaks that camel's back. We'll see. All right, appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. Oliver Slope, he's with Blue Line Futures up in Chicago. Bring it